kid from Stoke who was probably going to be more reliable, turn up, interested, and yeah. But then obviously I met him and he was me, and I just kind of picked myself and kind of went with my gut and thought it's going to be a nightmare probably. But I know we'll get there somehow. Even though he was probably only doing a day a week at school or a few hours a week at school, he went from that to doing basically every scene in a film for 6 weeks, for every day, 6 days a week. So it was incredible.
Right, let's take the first question from the audience. Who's got a question? Down here? We go down. Over there. Yes, with roving mics are coming to you. By the way, if I've got a question, look out for the guys in the yellow t-shirts with the microphones from you.
Ivor, behind you.
Behind you. It's a bit early for that sort of thing. It's only August, I think.
Sean, did you actually shut Mel's boobs in the shed?
I tried, but she said no.
Oh, no, mate. Well done.
What do you mean well done? Well, it seems quite fair. I don't like it. It's quiet.
I'll repeat the question.
You can just shout.
Hey, what's the question? What's the question? What is it?
You know when you was facing your dad and you come into the room and everything, I tell you something, you was absolutely brilliant. To do what you did and have the guts to do that. It's alright, no problem.
I think you were not to get so heavy so early on, but when you're faced like it with a scene like that, how do you I don't know, obviously none of us here are actors, unless someone has been acting. How do you prepare for it? How do you just sort of chat, go in, do it, and then smiles afterwards, or?
No, not really, but it's such a long process for Shane. On anything that I've ever worked with Shane, everybody here knows that it starts with the rehearsals, and that can take quite a bit of time, so a good few weeks, maybe even a month or so before we even get to set, and a lot is done in that time. So it's a real combination of things, and those scenes in particular, and the scenes with Steve, and they're not really set in stone. It just kind of creates throughout the day, doesn't it? It's things are just sort of they happen, and yeah. Daniel will tell you, the scenes that we've had to do aren't easy, but you trust everybody in the room. I trust Shane with my life, I trust Steve, I trust Danny, I trust everybody on this stage. And Johnny Harris, who played my dad, is now a very good friend of mine. We became very close very quick. Oh, one of the most beautiful men you'll ever meet. He's so different. Yeah, I mean, there's nobody different to me.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been possible to get any of the scenes the way that they were without someone like Johnny. He was just incredible. Like he's so bloody lovely, which you wouldn't even expect because he plays such a no,
he does.
I
know as well.
It's like Jesus. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's up to Johnny for those scenes.
Kind of on a similar vein with Stephen, because I was just talking to you outside about stuff you got up to this morning, and stuff you got up to this morning, like vacuuming and cooking sausages. But that's not combo behaviour. That's a million miles away from. So I don't know if I was going to share that. I apologise.
It's alright. Everyone does the hoovering and the washing and shit. I'll milk it, love. I'll milk it. And I'm like, no, yeah, look. A real man just hoovering up and polishes, you know what I mean? Every now and then he gets sexual favours. He says you all he wants tonight.
So going from obviously that's your just natural and so far removed away from combat, how do you get into that mindset to play what is frankly one of the scariest people on the screen, really? When you actually went for it, you know?
Well, Vicky's just really basically explained the whole thing, and it goes back from, you know, what Shane was saying. We all completely believe and completely trust in Shane. So whatever comes across, or wherever you go as a character, it's all down to the atmosphere that he creates on set. And the beauty of it is, you know, like he was telling about Tomo's mum. And Shane touched on it, and Shane said, you know, when he found him, he knew that he was a young kid and he was fragile, and he was from a, you know, quite a rough background and stuff, his head was where the film was at as a child, at that age, and it was all Shane's. It's Shane's semi-autobiographical story, but it was also something that Tomo was going through, and we don't mind me saying, but he did have a family, he had his mum and his dad and stuff like that, but he never had a true family that believed in him and loved him. But don't get me wrong, his mum was the most beautiful woman, and she was amazing, and Shane dedicated the film to her, which I think was a massive thing to do, you know what I mean? But no one had ever believed in her son, or ever thought that her son was capable of achieving anything. But Shane did, and that was the thing with all of us. I don't mean to sound wanky or pretentious in any way, but we all feel special when we work with Shane, because he believes in every one of us, and he makes us believe in ourselves. So he allows you, you know, things as delicate and as fragile as, like, you know, dealing with rape and dealing with the beating scene that I had to do with Shimmy and stuff like that. Shane puts you in an environment where you feel safe. And as an actor, it's about, like, just letting yourself go and feeling free. And he creates that environment. And the characters that we all develop are little parts of him, or parts of people that he's known. And then he gives it to us, and then we take it away and we look at it. And you know, because it sounds, it's so exciting. The first day of rehearsal, it's like my little kids went to school today, and it was their first day back at school. Hannah makes a big issue of it, and we, you know, just you know, like, you know, the excitement of going back to school and getting ready, and you know, your shoes are all ready, your shirt's there, your keks are there, and doing little graces here and all that. But on set, or even in the rehearsal period with Shane, it's like going back to school again, and your brain's just open to learn so much about yourself as a person and about the character that you're creating. And I sort of based some of my character on a few people that I know in my life, and Shane just helps you bring that out, and he creates an environment where you just feel so comfortable, and it's the most glorious experience I've ever had.
Amazing. It's strange to think as well, like, because watching it looks so tense and so uncomfortable, but actually behind the scenes
well, I mean, the genius of the man is that the night before we've done the big scene where, you know, me and Shimmy have that, and he's beaten to death and stuff like that, and it's just, we sat with Shimmy's grandma, and we had chicken and rice and peas, and